Clint Cosgrove, Rivals national recruiting analyst, here with a very special guest, one of the top defensive linemen, not only in the Midwest, but the entire country. We've got Edric Hill out of North Kansas City in Missouri. Edric, thanks a lot for coming on to talk about your recruitment, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been hoping to catch up with you for a long time. Back when I was scouting, your coach told me about you when you were a young buck, and you could tell early on that you had a chance to be pretty good, and it turns out Coach knew what he was talking about. So, but let's dive right into your latest offer, Texas A&M. Just tell me a little bit about that. How it happened? Was it expected? Your thoughts on the Texas A&M program as a whole?
Well, how it happened was the offensive line coach, Coach Dickey, he came to our school and he talked to me and my teammate, PJ, who's another top recruit, talked to us and gave him an offer and me an offer. And yes, I was surprised. I was very surprised for getting an offer from Texas A&M, and just the history they have, being a SEC and the past championships they won is just it's a great program. They can prove it.
No question. We talked off camera about this, but I've been down there for games. When I was coaching in Nebraska, we had a game there. I went to one when my dad coached there because I always wanted to go back and experience it as a fan. So definitely a lot of tradition, definitely a cool place, and they've definitely been making some moves on the recruiting trail. So I'm sure that was a happy one for you. But I mean, prior to that, and keep in mind, you were a multi-Power 5 offer recruit, but at the same time, and not out of nowhere, but all in a row, you started getting offers from Alabama, Tennessee, USC, LSU, Oregon. Like, they were coming in one after another. Tell me how that felt. Like, it had to have been surreal. How did that affect how you approach this recruiting process?
It was like I was in a dream. I tried to pinch myself. It was just crazy. It was just like I was in a movie or something. Like when I first got to Alabama talking to Nick Saban when he offered me, it was just weird to me. It didn't seem real. And when other schools start coming in, it was just like, wow. Some of these schools are like one of my dream schools. I was just watching them like when I was in elementary or middle school. It was surreal. It was just crazy.
I can only imagine. I never had the opportunity to have my recruitment blow up like that. That would have been a dream of mine as well. I've been to a lot of those places, but I can only imagine how special that was. And you talk about Alabama, and that's kind of the next big thing on your calendar. You are going down there for an official visit the weekend of the 24th, and I know you've been there a couple times. You've been to a game there. So you've seen it, and you've obviously met with Coach Saban and all of that. What are you looking for on this return visit that maybe you didn't see in the past?
Well, really talking to the players, seeing what their like daily routine is and how it is down there, and and plus education wise, just academics, and talking with the tutors and all that, and just seeing how they could make me a better man off the field and on the field, and just really, and talking to Coach Roach, D-line coach, talking to him about like what would they have me in as a D lineman, what would they use me for, and just yeah.
So it's time to take a little deeper dive. You saw all the excitement and the fun and what it looks like from the outside, but now you're really going to experience what it would be like on the inside. And it sounds like you got your priorities right, thinking about the academics, the tutors, the majors, all of that. So I think that's a great approach. How about this? Right now, well, as far as I know, Alabama is the only official visit on the schedule. What's next for you, Edric? Do you have visit plans? what happens next in your recruitment?
I have a few other schools I'll be doing officials. I have two more, and hopefully a third one. You know, uh, I really don't want to say schools, but I want to keep it a little surprise. And but
Hey, nothing wrong with that. There's a day and a time to release that, right?
sure,
All right. Just make sure you give me a heads up before you do, so I'm ready to cover it though. Sound like a plan?
yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. That brings me kind of my next thing. So it sounds like you have two that official visits that might happen as well. A third that you're exploring. Um, are you looking to narrow your list, or are you pretty much wide open right now, Edric?
Uh, I'm really narrowing them down. You know, I'm really trying to narrow them down to the point where it's time to commit and figure out where the place is for me and what's home for the next four, hopefully 4 to 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to drop a random one on you, but you did say this, so it really makes me wonder. When you talk about home, some guys, their decision comes down to it feels like home. Some guys go for purely academics. Some go for purely football. Some go for they feel connected there. They have friends there. When it is time for you to make a decision, what's most important to you?
Uh, how comfortable I feel there, just the school and the area and the people who I'm surrounding myself with and who's gonna lift me up, because I know I'm gonna have some days I don't feel like doing it, and and then just really lifting me up. And academic wise, yes, very important. A school that has very good academic and hopefully help me in the future to get my degree, and so yeah, that's stuff I look at.
Awesome. Make you the best you can be, right?
Sure.
Okay. So looking to narrow list down soon. Not sure, when or what it's going to be, but commitment timeline. Do you have a date that you'd like to commit by? Maybe a time frame, or is this just going to be based off kind of how the next month or two go for you?
Really, it's just seeing how these 2 months go, and really my plan is committing after my first game, committing.
Okay.
I can really be straight on and focusing during the season, and not worried about coaches texting me or getting on going to a visit after a game. Just really focusing and relaxing my body, and really I'm trying to do the after the game. But if I really like that school after these officials, I'll probably pick that school before the season starts.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you have a plan either way. If you find a place that feels like home, can't beat that. If it's after the first game, you'll get it out of the way then. I know that recruiting can become very stressful nowadays with coaches reaching out to you nonstop, people like me bothering you nonstop, trying to get out there and tell your story. But I'm just very happy for you, Edric, and just watching your development, the way you've evolved as a player, and then just talking to you in person right now, just so impressed with the way you handle yourself and carry yourself. I know you have plenty of success in front of you in the future. Crazy to think that you have another year of high school football still in front of you. But I can't thank you enough for coming on and talking about your recruitment, man.
All right, thank you.